This is the golden rule. Let's talk about it. We don't gotta walk around it. Your Bluetooth, the new tennis shoe. We finding new balance. Faith, family, and talents. How we find God around it. East y'all got the ox now. This your favorite channel. What we on Faith Talk? This a good space to talk. We gon' cross every road if we got a jaywalk. What we on sports now? No, this ain't Sports Center, but ever since Acot, the boy had the sport in him. Man of the house now. What we talking family ties? My dogs won't talk to me. Surely I'm a family guy. You can bring the conversation to me, get it analyzed. Men lie, women lie, the truth should be baptized. Whatever you put into this world is what you getting back. So while you listen in your car, try and sit with that. While you listen in the gym, try and lift the mat. This is podcasting cool. Welcome to the Golden Rule. It's golden, baby.
That the average 12-year-old knows about credit, and financial literacy is conversed in the white household. Maybe not daily, but at some point, financial literacy is definitely talked about in that household. Whereas in the Black community, we got so many things we got on our plate. Maybe financial literacy is not talked about often in the Black household. So that's one thing that I tried to make prevalent, man. Is man, hey, I want to teach CJ and my sons that are coming up about credit and how to maintain credit and how to be financial literate at an early age. Establishing bank accounts for my sons. Right now, I got bank accounts for Trey. He's 2. So, but teaching him, and when he gets of age, he's gonna know, some type of financial literacy. Maybe not. He ain't gonna know about stocks and bonds or whatever the case may be. But when he gets of age, he will know, have some sort of financial literacy, man. But so real quick, Chris, I'm about to come to you because I got a question for you. And this is like I said, I got a poll of questions from people who want to know this stuff. But Gene, Chris, I know you're familiar with Claremont, right? You know what Claremont is over there on Phillips Avenue.
Yeah.
You remember that you remember that Cleaners that was right down the street, right across from Claremont, right down the street from the Top Hill store?
Yeah, that's where it's shopping, right?
That's where it's shopping.
Yeah, that's where the school is.
That's where the barber school is.
That's where the school is. Yep. That's where we're training them up at.
I'm piecing it together, thinking like exactly where it's at.
Yeah, bro. When I tell
Yes,
you, it's an amazing sight, man. When you go to that, like, and just to touch on it, Jane, like he literally, people who get out of prison who really can't get jobs, like having the opportunity to go to his school and get their barber license. And you already know before, you know how many hours you got to put in to become a license. Like they literally have the opportunity to go into a beautiful barber school in the middle of the neighborhood. Like they literally walk from Claremont or walk from McPherson Homes or wherever, walk from Tucker Street or Textile, these streets that are surrounding the neighborhood, and they can walk to this school, bro. Like and get premium barber schooling, bro. From one of the best. I admire it, man.
Yeah. And not only just people who come out of prison, man. Like we take people who may not have finished high school,
right?
We take cats. It's kind of crazy, man, because we said, man, we want people to start going as early as they're interested. So we started taking kids in high school, and not only did we start taking kids in high school, I have a couple middle school students who is in our program, and all of this is happening because we own this institution.
Right.
If you look at other barbering institutions, they're not taking them if they don't have a high school diploma or GED. They're not taking them as young as I'm taking them, and all of those things. We're able to do that because we own this institution. So that's why, entrepreneurship is very important, because sometimes, man, you can create the rules and standards, man, that you will allow, man, and you can help people with that, man. So yeah, man, I love it, man. I love it, bro. It's just amazing for me to drive by when I go to my grandma's house, and I pass by the school and I just look over at it, man, and it's like, man, we over there doing our thing, man. So it's exciting, man.
You know what, Chris, I'm finna come to you. But Gene, one question that I had on my poll for you specifically, and this was a question that was posed on our podcast, on our episode.
Okay.
How do you still live in the community, like right now?
Absolutely.
Your school is in the community. You've been like, that's why I know you always gonna be blessed, because you never left the community, bro, which I find amazing. But the question that was posed through me to you is how did you stay there, provide your services, and not have to worry about security or any harm that will come your way? Like,
Yeah, man. So first of all, you can be harmed anywhere. I think sometimes when people are in other demographics, they have a false sense of security. So that's first and foremost. Number two, when you take care of a community, man, they take care of you, bro. I
facts.
remember, one time somebody broke in, and the community immediately identified them, and believe it or not, man, they handled the situation themselves, and it kind of put a message out there, man. So, when you're really taking care of people, man, and you like genuinely taking care of people, and you really show love to your community, man, they take care of you, bro, and they really do take care of me, man.
Man,
They really do.
One thing I can say. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, dude.
No, go ahead.
One thing I can honestly say about Greensboro, bro, they truly love you, bro. Like, people love Gene Blackmon, man, and that's the answer to this question. So when they asked me this question, you're watching, you know who you are. That's how, because people really love this dude, man. Like, and I'm speaking from the heart. People really love you, man. So I know exactly what you mean.
I'm grateful for it, man. But and that's why it's important to serve, man. That's why it's important to serve, man. People definitely take care of you when you serve, man.
CEEJ, I want to come
sir.
to you, bro. I want to come to you because we've talked about your entrepreneur endeavors, but speak to one of the things I want you to speak to, man, is your relationship with God and how that helped you, established, how that helped you along with your establishment in your entrepreneurship.
Yeah, for me, it's principles, man. I don't even got to get super deep. I'll make it simple, because for one, my relationship with God is everything. I mean, He's truly the head of my life, and so I follow godly principles. And let's say we know that love is the guiding commandment. But when you love something, how do you treat it? Like, if I truly let's talk about your favorite hat. It gets treated a little different than the other ones. Whoa, you crinkle them all up except that one. Let's say your favorite shoe. Now let's say your wife. Now let's say your kids, right? There's a level of love that we got to understand what that truly means and the way Christ loves us. And so now when He gives us gifts, when He gives us visions, when He gives us business, when He gives us these things, now I have to treat it love with a level of excellence. So I treat my business and the way I do things with a level of excellence. The same way Christ loved the church. He did it with a level of excellence. So excellent, in fact, that I died for it. So extreme in my love for it. That when I'm gone 2,000 years from now, the passion that I had for those that I love will reign even in them to the people that they love. It'll be the model that's utilized. So I take that and I be like, man, when we say let your yes be a yes and your no be a no, when I say yes to this business, when I say yes to whatever it is that I'm embarking in, I'm saying yes to God. So now I have this obligation, this responsibility to treat it with excellence. So for me, that's how they correlate specifically.
Man, we've in past years, over the years, we've had in-depth conversations about that, man. And faith is huge. Without it, everything you do is dead. Not just your works, but everything you do is dead if you don't have faith in God.
Yeah, so, people can make that cliche, man. Like, nah, man, when you really got faith in God, it's hard. Like, faith in, I don't know why we make it seem like, oh, I have faith, man. No, man. And when you start talking about faith and you got it for real, your face should be like, man, I got faith, man.
Yeah, because he gonna test it.
Man, it's not
He's
this
gonna
easy
test it.
thing because it comes with a side eye. It says faith without works is not even faith. It's dead. It never even existed. And you got to think the level of accountability God gives us. He said it could be those who know him to the point where they like, I shouted for you, I pay my tithes and everything. They gonna get to heaven. They gonna say, depart from me, I never even knew you. That's the level of accountability that God expects from us. Where he could say, man, you said my name the whole time you was there. You get in front of my face and I'm telling you, I never even knew you. So when we talk about faith, when we say it's dead without works, think about the level of aptitude faith actually takes to sit and tell anybody in their face, you're a faithful servant. Yeah, okay. Until you see what that really means, and I have to apply that in business, because even right now, there's ebbs and flows in business, and my company is going through. We've been fortunate, blessed, man, to be a six-figure company our first 3 years in business, and then all of a sudden, we hit life starts life, and you hit ebbs and flows of business, and now it's one thing to say, "Oh, I believe in you, God," but what can God work with and do if I actually don't start applying applicable practices to my business to fix the issues, to overcome slow seasons? How can he work with that if I'm sitting on my hands? He said, you can have all the faith in the world, but you got to give me something to work with, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So faith is an applied action. So I just want to say that, because sometimes we get caught up in that and think we're going to sit back and wait on God, and we just looking at each other. He like, make a move. I ain't doing that until you do something.
Right. Right, man. Absolutely. Man, that's one thing that I will say. Like I say, man, we've had several conversations about that. And the one thing that you always told me was, man, listen, if you're going to do something, just go ahead. Not only do it, man, but you got to put, like you say, full effort into it, bro. Full effort. You can't half step it. And that's the exact message I teach CJ, man, my son, dude. If you're going to do something, first of all, I want you to do it because it's in your best interest to do it. Not because I'm looking, not because I told you to do it. Just go do it because you know it's the right thing to do. And I would never tell you to do something, that is not that doesn't benefit you, or that is wrong.
Can I say this with that? Just
Yes,
on
sir.
a business tip for somebody who might be taking notes or might be, really listening to this thing. If I'm not jumping ahead, anything like that, just on is that okay? On a business tip?
Absolutely. 100%. That would be helpful.
We got to your point, right? One thing that we have to learn in business is you have to first, like you made a statement earlier. Before was like, I would have really done something that I love doing. I know someone right now that's a multi-million dollar company that owns a logistics company, but doesn't know how to drive a truck. And he'll tell you straight up, he said, man, I don't know how to drive a truck, but I know how to work a calculator. Like, you know what I mean? I understand business acumen. I've never stepped foot behind a truck. I never planned on it. And I say that to say, as entrepreneurs, if you say you love it, then take it out on a date and court it and all of those things. Speak what you call affirmations. What do I mean by that? The same way you do your lady, your spouse, your husband, the man you going after. You do those things prior to engaging in a long-term relationship with it, right? I mean, we know that. But we got to deal with business. Like, for instance, one of the worst things some businesses can get is an influx of cash. It's the worst thing that can happen for them, just to start getting money. Before was making that statement earlier. People don't know how to make money. I had to coach myself and get training on how, and I don't mean how to create revenue. I mean how to receive money. Because now I got a 15% self-employment tax, and I made $100,000 this year. Oh man, I'm balling, right? My business is doing good. I'm doing well, but I live off of all my money. I commingle all my funds, and then now taxes are coming due, and I owe $15,000 to $20,000 that I don't have because I've been living off of it. So I didn't really make that. And then on top of all that, now I want to buy me a house because I'm doing good. I finally in position. And now when you come to me and you say I want to buy a house, and you say, man, I make good money. Don't worry about that part, baby. That's how they talk. Don't worry about that. I make money now. I make money. Okay, cool. And then, but we look at your tax write-offs, and you wrote everything off on your taxes because you wanted to get a
actually ain't make
return back. Yeah, you wanted to get a return back, and that showed that you made $17,000 for the year. You made nothing. You can't leverage the money you made, and I'm telling you, the most important thing a business can get is access to capital. You have to have the ability, and then on top of that, now when you first getting access to capital, meaning the ability to borrow money from a bank or what have you, lines of credit, different things to grow your business, to influence your business. Before that, you can't even leverage that because you have horrible personal credit. That was never important to you. But who's the guarantor for a single member LLC? You
the guarantor.
So now we have not courted the business that we hope to make us all these millions of dollars because we don't know, back to my point, how to even make money. You don't have no idea what, and that's okay. But what I'm saying is those are the type of things we have to learn first so that we can then handle. That's why I say I created a CRM before getting the clients, right? Some people would have got the clients and then figure out how to keep all of them. No, I knew how to do that before I got one. You know what I'm saying? And for me, the acumen of business has been my like even this hardest year. Last thing I'll say, I've had probably the hardest year, definitely the hardest year since I started my company. But we sustained. We never missed anything. Why? Because I pay myself salary, and I file taxes as an S corp. And so the fact that I pay myself a reasonable salary, the company was healthy for over during the drought. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Back to those godly principles. You know, there will be times of famine, there will be times of plenty. And with what you do in the times of plenty, that prepare you for the times of famine. And then lastly, is being a good employee. Man, I was a great employee. I'm talking about it was an honor for me to work for you because I treated your business like it was mine. Like, and if I was to tell anybody, hey, what if I gave you $40,000 a year? Now, with that $40,000, you have to keep your bills paid, take care of yourself, but you can invest whatever's left into starting your own business. And then once that business is working for you, I'll let you go. Ain't nobody, most people in the world would be like, sign me up. Guess what that's called? Your job.
Right.
And then they're like, oh, you talking about going to work? Yeah. Being a good steward of what you have, learning how to be a good employee. I'm telling you, if you think you could be an entrepreneur and you suck at being employed, I promise you're going to fail horribly. It is the hardest thing you're going to ever do in your life. It is going to require more sacrifice and everything. The pressure, the weight, the angst that you feel about going to work where you dread it, you do not want to replace that with the weight and the heaviness or the responsibility on your own business. I promise you, before long, you'll be saying, man, going to work was so much easier. And entrepreneurship is not for everybody. So I don't get into this. Own your own, do your own thing. Man, look, if you can get a good career and you making six figures and don't have the weight that some of us have, like I'm telling you, most people would choose 100,000 working than 100,000 of their own. It might sound better, but the weight that you carry, and I'm just saying that because if it scares you away, it was never for you. That statement either scares 100%. You away or makes you want to embrace it. So I just wanted to get those off before we get anything else. So
I swear to God, you just dropped them jewels on that one, boy. I'm trying to tell you.
100%, man.
Some people just cut to just go to work and go home, bro. And it's okay.
And it's okay. Like, well, I don't know why our culture gets so caught up in that, man. That is fine.
Why don't you go get your own business, bro? Everybody ain't cut for that, bro.
Everybody ain't for everybody, man. You know, you can, it's just not. Because some people don't know how to manage the time and you can buy your time with business and your family. And man, I'm telling you, so I just want to encourage those folks out there who are looking at entrepreneurship. I just encourage you to do the before stuff now. Like, learn about, I'll say this, ball out. My pastor always says this, it's in the CrossFit he uses, you got to learn how to ball. If you're going to want to be a baller in this entrepreneurship world, find a local banker. It's extremely important. I'm talking about a local banker, someone you can build a relationship with and you can get access to capital. If you have a business and you don't have a local banker, you're already behind the eight ball. Even when you started up, You open it up, man. I used to take. I'm not lying. They'll tell you. I order them pizzas. We try to do it like every other month at least, stuff like that. Man, I build a relationship with those bankers, especially. I ain't talking about like big national banks. I'm talking about fine local banks because guess what? The presidents and CEOs live in the same community or county that you do. They might not be on Phillips, but
they're definitely not on Phillips, brother.
They might be on Phillips, but they somewhere though. I got you. So a banker, you find an accountant. I tell people all the time the first investment that I made as a business owner was an accountant. I still have an accountant to this day. I made sure that as I started getting revenue in, I had enough to pay him. I pay him before I pay myself because paying him keeps me in position to pay myself and my taxes and everything else. So having an accountant, and they will tell you how to move, what's work. I'm telling you, accounts is good. Then a good lawyer or legal representation, and then eventually you want to find good leaders. Folks who, and that's where the stage I'm really in now is getting to the point where I can take my hands off. Ultimately, that's what you want. I mean, you might always be the face of the podcast, but you have somebody who controls light, somebody who does equipment. That's the goal. Everybody, Casanet ain't setting up his systems, like, what I'm saying? Yeah. You're on the walkie-talkie. Yeah. And because you have good leadership, you want people who can lead it the way you do. But I believe that starts with you and the way you are at where you work at. So that's just an acrostic that he uses that I think is great, that I think is a good way to sort of say, all right, let me chat GPT each one of those segments and then see how far down the rabbit hole I can go each one. And then I bet you I'll be ready to start business. So I just want to say that.
Man, well said, man. Well
Great
said.
Info. Great info.
Well said, bro. These are some of the things that I do every day at my job, man. I work for a family-owned business, and I've been there for a few years, man, and I love it. They are actually prepping me to own my own, man. I basically, they give me the keys to my own. I general manage a automotive shop, and I do it the way I need to do it within obviously their parameters, right? But the one thing that they allow me to do is the support that they give. Hey, man, look, this is your business. Run it like it's yours. If you need us, we're here. But we're not going to micromanage you because you know what you're doing. We put you in the position because we know what you're doing. We don't need to micromanage you.
And that's why they balling out, because they have good leadership. That's that part of it, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely, bro. And that thing that you just said right there is exactly where I'm at, like before they alluded to earlier. Yeah, I do my own production and graphic designing, but I ain't trying to do that all. I'm not trying to do that forever, man. I'm trying to get to a point where I have somebody in charge of these things, man. And I will get there because I'm putting in the work right now to build it to the point where I can get to that point, man. So, dude, lot of great information there, man. Before, tell me what you got coming up, man. I know we got this season coming up. we got this. Oh, for everybody who know me, man, they already know I'm playing semi-pro football. I've been doing that for years. But me and before we share the field, semi-pro, full contact, Gene. By the way, full contact. We in pads, helmet, and everything. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I know we got this season coming up, man. But I know tell the people what you got going on, man. Tell the people where they can find you at too, as far as your members only podcast.
All right, so I have members only podcast. I do have an Instagram on there, and like you said earlier, that's members only, and that's with a Z, members only _podcast. And I just kind of like post clips and stuff like that on there, just kind of like really just kind of give people like insight of like brief conversations or clips or whatever. But where you can find where the podcast is actually housed is on Spotify. I'm on Apple Podcasts, bro. I'm on satellite radio. I'm on iRadio. I'm on Pandora, bro. Really, any of those that you look on, I'm on YouTube. I'm on YouTube Music, bro. I'm on all of those things. So that's really how you can find the podcast. And then me personally, you can just find my personal thing. I mean, _King_4 on Instagram. But as far as what I got coming up, honestly, I really been tapped in, trying to be tapped into my job, like my 9 to 5. I've been really been trying to tap into that because I feel like I've been bringing a lot of ideas into it that I feel like can really help the institution grow. Not only that, I feel like it can help my, my personal skills grow, like in finance and like I know like bro was saying, he has really good customer service skills, and like I do too. Like that's kind of like my strength. But just being able to eyeball, I think like C said earlier, he said an entrepreneur really ain't nothing but somebody who just saw the problem that somebody have. So like I'm just good at like finding the problem, just eyeballing the problem kind of like on the fly. Like I can look at an accountancy and see an area of opportunity. I'll say that. I ain't really say a problem. You know what I'm saying? I can find an area of opportunity. And that's kind of like what I've been good at. And I've been doing finance for some years now. But like he said, I have been very interested in having my own business. And I believe that everything he said is 100% facts in terms of the steps that you need to take prior to doing it. And I do feel like he done it the correct way. Both of them have, and then both of them is having a lot of success. Although he had a down year, that definitely by far doesn't define the strength of the business, because I believe a down year is gonna come no matter what you're doing. You're gonna have a down year, and then his definition of a down year and my definition is gonna be different. Like I feel like it's in the eye of the beholder anyway. So it might not have been a down year; it just might have been based on how he talks. He has pretty high standards, so it probably was a down year for his standards, but it probably was a good year. Probably would have been a good year for mine.
He's doing everything in excellence.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like, but one thing that stood out to me the absolute most, what he was saying, bro, is like, bro, the capital is the major key to a business. Don't get me wrong. All those things he said, to having somebody in charge of this and somebody in charge of that, those things are also great because eventually you can take your hands off. But when you really, like he said, when you love it, when you treat that business like your baby, like he treats barber as his baby, like he loves it. He treats, you know what I'm saying, the real estate broker side of it, like they love it. So when you love it, having to put your hands in it doesn't feel like work when you love what you're doing. So like, yeah, he wants to step back probably for the time aspect of it, to have more time and to still generate the revenue without having to do so much. And with the success he's having, I'm right here with you with the weight of it. But the success y'all are having in the platform that y'all have created for y'all businesses, that weight isn't the same weight probably that it was when you started or when you was brainstorming how to get to this point. So y'all are having a lot of success, you know what I'm saying, with that. So I said it to say this: having your hands on it isn't a bad thing at all when you love what you're doing. So like, I think that the capital is most important to in my eyes, and that's from my point of view because of the side of it that I've seen. Having to do everything with your own money is a very much more of a beast. But when you have the capital, that you can stay afloat with the capital, and then you can use your time and you can use your mind, and that takes the weight off where you can think clearly to where you can find different avenues to generate more revenue. I feel like that's the key, because the fact that you build a relationship with bankers and you have the capital and you had the ability to leverage, because you understood that at least for the first year, because like I said, I work at the bank, so like I work commercial, I've done all that. You know that starting a business within that first 12 to 24 months, that the individual is the guarantor. Like you understood that before you walked into it. So understanding that you needed to be at a certain level with your own personal credit in order to, I gotta just last for these 12 months. I gotta stay afloat for these 12, because then boom, now I can get this capital. So man, he's dropping some real good information, bro, and it stands out to me, bro, because everything he's saying, bro, Eddie, it's facts, bro, and it's facts because I've been there, bro, and I know that everything he's telling these people what it takes is 100% facts, what it takes, bro, and he ain't just gassing, telling y'all the truth, and it's coming from somebody who has success, how he has, and it's coming from me, somebody who didn't check those boxes, those same boxes that he's telling y'all to check. I didn't check those boxes. And like you said earlier, Eddie, it's because of being unaware. It isn't because just being like, you know what I'm saying, downright negligent. It's just the unaware side of it. So like
we don't know what we don't know. I say that all the time, and I know we rapping. I just want to say that too. We don't know what we don't know. Man, Gene made such a great point earlier too, like how your vision will shift in different seasons. Man, that's the realest thing. I could have never imagined 5 years ago that I would be doing real estate. And then I couldn't imagine 3 years ago when I started because when I started real estate, it was solely just to do real estate, just to be a real estate agent. I never could imagine a year later I'd be building my first house once I started and getting access to capital and learning how to do that. And so I want to see more of us, minorities, Black folks specifically, in at the table and in these rooms, where because millionaires are not using their own money, they're leveraging other people's money, they're leveraging the bank's money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they'll be a fool to do that. From whoever you think that's how they're doing it. But we don't even fully know what that means. I think there are a lot of stigmas, a lot of things that are designed to keep us that way. We won't. I used to be so big about tax season. That's about to change everything until my first time being, where I had to pay taxes.
Really making some money.
And then it's like, oh, okay, this is a different thing. And then some folk like, oh, that's crazy. Now I want to be, and I'm like, no, that mindset has changed, has adjusted now. Because my thoughts are more about, what can I do through the year? How can I step back and be prepared for this moment? And I just realized there's some things that, again, it becomes a little more weighty. But the high risk, high reward, because everything's a risk anyway. But I just say that to say, man, I love to see our people find ourselves in a position where we can sit at the table and start carving out our own chairs to sit at the table.
It's crazy. It's crazy because I swear, bro, like these conversations with y'all that I feel like I should have had long ago,
years ago.
Bro, better late than never, bro. But like you're really dropping like the information that people who like myself or people who haven't been through it yet, this is all information that I feel like is going to be very valuable, and it's going to be key for a lot of people moving forward. People who have interest in being an entrepreneur, but again, like we all said before, y'all, like it's not for everybody, and it doesn't mean that you're less successful or less of an individual because you opted to go to work instead of starting your own business. Like,
absolutely,
it's okay to not be a business owner, bro, because everybody just isn't designed that way. Some people are just designed to go to work and come home, and that's fine. But like, but yeah, man, but yeah, Eddie, like, bro, like as far as like moving forward, I don't really have a specific endeavor that I'm doing now. I have a few things that I am interested in. I have been very interested in the mortgage side of things, but like he does real estate broker. Like I've been interested in doing like mortgage originator, like being the one, like the lending side of it. Like I have been interested in that because I feel like it kind of ties to what I'm doing. And then to go back to what he was saying before about how your vision changes, like it can change with the season. That's a fact. Yeah. But one thing that doesn't change is the passion that you have for a specific area. You're able to tie your seasons into what you're passionate about. Yes, coaching one season, barbering in a season, but it's still gonna tie into your passion that you have with the youth and the passion that you have with the community, because you're using those two avenues to tie it all together. Like that, you're still using those to tie it. Like you said, you put it in a community that there was a need. It wasn't because you're screaming, oh, I'm from this hood, I ain't never leaving. Nah, it's like I'm from this neighborhood, I care about it, so I'm gonna provide a service for people that either don't have any other opportunities, or on the other side of the spectrum, people who have endless opportunities, but this is the one that they want to choose. Like you're just providing that opportunity, but you're providing it for the community, you're providing it for the culture, you're providing it for anybody who's interested, and you're going to be passionate about it as you're doing it. And even with the sports coaching, not only are you teaching them how to be good on the field or on the court or whatever sports you're coaching, you're also teaching these people how to be better individuals moving forward. So like, yeah, that changes, but your vision and your passion does not. And the same with CEEJ, bro. He's tying his love for the community and his ability to want to help people achieve certain things. He's tying that to building affordable homes because he knows how crazy it is, and he's been doing it for a while. And look how and since he started, look how the market has changed, how the market has went up crazy. Like if it wasn't for people like him, look at how many more people would even if he only could provide one affordable home per month. That's still one family that got a home that didn't have an opportunity to get one. And that's 12 people that can get one in a year. Out of 365 days, he's providing at least 12 days out of a year for somebody to be happy. So, like, that's work in itself. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like he's tying his passion to what he's doing anyway, like, no matter what. So, like, finding my lane, that's kind of like, I said it to say this, it's kind of like tying it to that.
Right.
Find a way to tie what it is that I'm passionate about. And even if it's more than one lane, like for example, like both of y'all have like kind of like a 2-part, like a 1A, 1B lane, but you still tying it to like your passion, like you're tying it to what you care about. So I feel like once you get to that point, once you reach that plateau, like I feel like that's when everything kind of like it's either gonna level out for you and it's going to the storm and that calm. It's you know what I'm saying? It's calm now a little bit. I'm not saying that the work got easy, because it didn't.
Nah, not at all.
It's easier to think about it. It's even in sports. All y'all play sports. Once you learned your job, it was easy to lock in on your job. Then say that the games got easier and the plays got easier to make, but you at least had some direction. It's way harder to make a play when how I'm gonna run a route and I don't know where I'm running to. Like I don't know. Like you know what I'm saying? Like so it's just y'all just kind of like created that platform, bro. And it's like, to me, I never met nobody who had it together like that. I ain't saying y'all always had it together, but I'm saying to the preparation aspect of it, bro. Like I never met nobody who just prepared so vividly prior. Most people just jump into it. And that's what I did. Because like you gotta think about it though. That's the way I thought it was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So
and can I add this too? Like for one, I'm a Virgo, right? So you know, I make up the bed before I get in it to this day.
Hey, that's my wife, bro. All day.
I'm like, bro, we gotta get in it anyway.
For real.
But I like what you were saying, and this is a credo that I follow, and it's the 3 P's: purpose, passion, and profit. Right? They don't always have to be different things. Sometimes they're combined. But you have to find those things in and out of every season. What's your passion? What's your purpose? And where's profit? And then people think about streams of income, and I think there's a myth with that. This is just my perspective on that. I think the whole streams of income. I'm gonna own. I don't think that means, to me, that's crazy thinking that you're gonna own a bunch of different businesses. Like, you got to have 7 businesses to have 7 streams of income. To me, that's like backwards thinking. Like I think about. And Gene already was saying it. Sometimes these streams start coming out of capacity that you build with what you have. So like you know what I'm saying? Like how he can cut a hair and make $20 or whatever that is, right? Train someone, make from there. That's 2 streams of income. You know what I mean? Rent the building out if you want to for or whatever. That's another stream. I'm just using that example for me. Like I'm about to get into logistics. You know, my next move, one of my goals is next year is I'm going to get a few box trucks. But see, right now I'm working on the contract. But I'm like, I'm going to get the contract first before I get the trucks. So that way I'm not running into an issue because I don't want to get behind the wheel on it at all. And so I'm saying that to say, people talk about these different streams. You can get to those different streams once you start mastering what's in your hands. Moses said, God said, you about to do something amazing. I'm going to use you. How I'm going to do it? What's in your hands? I got a staff. All right, we'll use that. And I believe that's the prime example God gave, because he did everything, every miracle he made, he did it with that, what was in his hands already, the staff. And God used it. And I believe we have certain things in our hands that we can utilize. And in doing that, he'll begin to unveil to us how we can start multiplying But we got to get out of these quick, fast, in a hurry microwave mindsets that we have, because that is just not how it works.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's very much
100%. I agree 100% on that.
straight up.
Hey, Gene, what you tell the folks what you got coming up, man. Or not necessarily what you got coming up, or what you already got yourself into. Because I know you got
a few things. Yeah, I'll do that. But I do want to say one thing before I do that, man. I want to both guys kind of alluded to it, but I think that it's very important if you're about to get into business, or you're inquiring about getting into a business. If you struggle to manage your personal life, you will probably struggle to manage your business. So it's very important to get on top of management when it comes to your personal life, whether it's credit, family, time, whatever the case may be. You really do have to learn how to manage your personal life, because a lot of times, man, we think, okay, man, I'm gonna get into this business and it's gonna get me out of my mess. And investing in the business is not going to get you out of your mess. If you have bad investment habits or bad management habits, you'll carry that over into your business, and then your business will become a burden. So I think it's very, very important. And both brothers said that in different ways, but it's very important, man, to be able to manage your personal life. And sometimes it's okay to slow down. You know, we want things when we want them, but sometimes we need to clean up our personal mess and still inquire and learn and educate ourselves about the business that we want to get into. And then when we get things cleared up, it's okay to jump into that, that investment part of the business. But Prestige Barber College, we're still rocking and rolling, man. Doing violence prevention work here in Greensboro with establishing safe cultures. I work with a coalition of amazing people who's doing violence prevention work here in Greensboro. Enjoying being a father, and now enjoying being a husband. Have an amazing wife who really helps me manage things in my personal life and at home now, because givers give time, givers give money, givers give their heart, givers give their ear, and all of that. So she does a great job of helping me manage and balance everything in terms of my personal life and business, man. So man, everything is everything out here, man.
Hey, come on, man. And you know what? Like I say, salute to the missus, man. Miss Blackmon. Is it Kedrian?
Yes, you said it right, man. Most people mess it up, man.
Come on, Kedrian. Come on, I'm doing the name.
Okay.
Miss Blackmon. And I also want to say, before I get off of here, I also want to say, shout out to my wife. Hey, baby, what's going on? Y'all know I got to sleep with my baby. Y'all know that.
Right.
Because I mean, hey, listen, we talk about entrepreneurship. Hey, it's hard to be an entrepreneur when you ain't got a strong woman behind you, man. It's tough. CEEJ, didn't you celebrate a anniversary?
November. No, it was just my wife's birthday, but we'll be 16 years married in November.
Man, that's dope, bro.
Come on.
Dope.
Hey, come on, man. Hey, I gotta salute. I gotta salute Amber. Man. I gotta salute.
We met at Clemson, and we've been. I knew she was gonna be my wife, man. I think I knew, and I think I was right. I was right. So
I think I do.
So shout out to my wife, man. And then again, for the past 3 years now, we do this entrepreneurship thing together. And she's in school right now to become a nurse. So that's my goal right now. Is I say, hey, all I gotta do is keep the boat on the water long enough for her to finish school, and I can retire. So,
right on.
Nurses make good money. So
right on, man.
She's the bag right now. I'm just protecting the bag.
Hey, come on, man. Hey, come on.
Yeah,
and last but not least,
I'm at 8 years in July, bro.
Oh man, congrats!
Oh, wow, congrats, man.
Hey, shout out to Jess. Shout out to Jess. We're not gonna come on now. We ain't gonna let it go.
Yeah, man.
Okay, that's what's
up,
man. I salute all y'all wives, man. Love and peace to all y'all families, man. And I really appreciate y'all for joining. Be forward, man. You could alluded throughout the show to these gentlemen that I have here, man. I'm blessed to have them a part of my life for as long as I have, man. And that's why I made part of the reason why I made this platform is to get all of these like-minded guys on the same platform so that we can share our experiences, so that we can share our ups and our downs, and circulate this information throughout our community so that we can empower ourselves as Black men to, get this information circulated so that we can inform each other, man. Hey, if another brother don't know something, hey, let's go ahead and talk about this. And the mental aspect of what we go through on a daily basis. I'm not gonna get off track. Just stay with me. The mental aspect of what we go through on a daily basis is conversations that we need to have too. We're gonna touch on. Before I know you really want to touch on that portion of it, but I think conversations like this helps us and motivates us to go back into our households and be held accountable for leading or being leaders in our households. So I take these conversations like this, man, and I'm blessed because now I can go back into my household and implement something that I got from this conversation into my household, man.
Thank
so
y'all
I
for this
appreciate you
opportunity,
guys.
man. It's always good
Absolutely.
to talk about it, man. I
Absolutely.
Yeah.
CEEJ, let them know real quick where they can find you at on social media.
Yeah. Chris CEEJ is CEEJ Jefferson. My company is Oak and Ave, so OAKANDAVE, Oak and Ave Property Group.com, and Oak and Ave Impact.org is our nonprofit side. So we got a lot going right now. Free credit repair services we have in place. We got about 8 new builds going up right now. So some really great opportunities, man. We've been able to help folks. We got a couple closing up soon that are getting over $20,000 in down payment and closing cost assistance. I mean, it's game changing. So anyone, we have really great resources. And then on the music tip, we just introduced Status Quo. Me, Reggie Rock,
Yes,
Al Harris, my boy Trap, who was actually peeking in on here earlier. We just dropped, a video most recently, man. So y'all check out Status Quo. But again, man, yeah, that's who I am by day and by night. So
come on, man. Hey, and look, shout out to Reggie Rock, Al Harris, Trap. Hey, man, believe me when I tell you, I'm going to create an episode for y'all.
Say less.
I'm saying that right now because the music thing has been going for years too, man. I know we ain't touched on that.
That's my passion. You know what I'm saying? When you stay balanced with all those things, you can keep moving because sometimes you got to lean on your passion when profit ain't there.
Come on.
Sometimes you got to lean on your purpose.
Hey, Ford don't know this part, but yeah, I used to get in the studio a little bit too, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, cut it out, man. Cut it out.
You better cut it out. Gene, man, did you tell them where they can find you at social media?
No, Gene Blackmon on Facebook and Instagram. PrestigeBarberCollege.org is our website information. And Establishing Safe Cultures Facebook page. That's how we rocking out, man, with the violence prevention.
I like it, man.
Already. Anybody got any closing remarks before I close?
I just said, man, y'all be blessed out there, man. Y'all folks, especially if it's entrepreneur, you take what you can get. You utilize what you have in your hands. Don't think too hard about forward. Have right now faith. What I can do right now, and let God do the rest. But coach yourself, train yourself, learn, unlearn, and relearn whatever that needs to look like. And God bless you.
Well said.
Well, I think that I'm always big on the mental health side of it anyway. I think everybody. I mean, it's very important that you take accountability and also think about others. Like we tend to jump out the bridge and just say things or not really treat people with the type of care or handle people with the type of care that they need to be handled with, no matter the situation. So I think that everybody just need to kind of I know it's cliche, but kind of be kind to others, treat other people with the level of respect that they deserve.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And no matter what the situation is, I think you just don't need to hold grudges, things like that. And then just kind of get back to what CEEJ was saying, man. I'm not super in depth with with the religious side of it, but I'm still learning it. So like,
We all are.
just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just think you need to like lean on your faith in a lot of situations, which I've been trying to like take that advice really from my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I haven't really been in those situations. I haven't really leaned on faith in the past. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I just think that's a big thing. But also what he said earlier, if you're not putting in the work, man, like, you know what I'm saying, the faith situation is kind of pointless. You know what I mean? Like, we kind of come from like, and like our grandparents and stuff, just kind of like really, I felt like growing up, they really leaned on just the faith side of it. You know what I'm saying? And just sit back, do nothing, rely on faith. And that's the reason why I kind of like stepped to the side from it at an early age, because I felt like it was like, you know what I mean? Like, not understanding like the work side of it. I just kind of felt like it was pointless to just sit back and do nothing and expect something. So I think that's just the biggest thing, really lean on the faith. And then he also spoke on researching. Like, if anything you do, not just business. I've been an entrepreneur. I just feel like anything that you kind of like step into, or that you have any intentions on stepping into, and I mean across the board, everything from relationships to jobs to owning the business to anything. I just feel like the research side of it has to be there, and we just got to stop being kind of naive, especially with a lot of the things that's going on now, a lot of changes going on, like with the economy, with the world. The research side of it is very important. And what I took from this episode is exactly that. Just kind of listening to their stories, man, like they jump into situations prepared.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I've always only knew how to prepare myself athletically. I know how to prepare in the off season, be ready for the season, or prepare that week for the upcoming game. And I just need to take a step back and apply that same skill set to applying it to like other things. And then he also brought up how if you aren't able to manage your personal life, then he was speaking on business, but I feel like that's across the board. If you're not able to manage that, you're not gonna really be able to manage anything. And I have realized that there's a lot of times when I just feel like I'm just kind of like everything jumbled up. Like I can't really, you know what I'm saying? I can't really like manage because I got too much going on, you know what I'm saying? Like and that just kind of go right back to what he was saying. You just gotta kind of like compartmentalize things and really focus and try to understand what's going on before you can really start moving to make those other situations. And then one last thing, CEEJ, you talking about box trucks. Like I said, bro, I took the L's. So you ain't gotta take them. So I mean, if you have any questions about any of that, you said you want to get your contracts first. I didn't do that. So I was fighting to get my contracts while I was doing it, which I understand the process now, but I didn't have contracts before. Primarily because, which I know you're very tedious. So I know that you're gonna make sure that you're working on those things in the process, because the biggest key factor to it is most of the companies gonna require you to have your DOT and have all those things in line for 90 days. They're gonna want you to have your like you're gonna be registered through the Department of Transportation. You're gonna have to be registered and have your active insurance and all that. It's gonna have to be for 90 days. About 95% of the companies aren't gonna even touch you or gonna let you take loads or do anything for them until you have showed that you have had an active insurance and an active DOT number and all of that for 90 days. So essentially, anybody who starts transportation gonna have to have enough capital and enough built up money to be able to withstand 3 months of basically taking scraps, taking the worst loads, the lowest pay, all that, being able to stay afloat for 90 days. As soon as you hit that 91-day mark, then now you are officially able to go work for get contracts with anybody else. So that's the main thing, to make sure that you're ready to stay afloat for 90 days. And on that 91st day, then you can get all the contracts that you desire. But I know within that time frame, you're going to be working on those. So, because I know you from just this conversation, you're going to build that pipeline for them 90 days. And then when that 91st day hit, boom, you're going to have options on what contract you want to take. So just make sure you keep that in mind and understand that even with everything else you do, if you don't have that, if you're not registered, if you're not settled for 90 days through the Department of Transportation, it doesn't matter how many things you have in line, nobody's gonna touch you. So that's one thing that I want to tell you before we got off here for sure.
I appreciate that so much, man. That's what it's about. Sharing information. Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Gene.
Yes, sir. Two quick things, man. One, if you're interested in a short storefront business, please keep in mind whatever spot you're going to rent or purchase, please make sure it's zoned for the business that you're getting into. A lot of times we do things backwards. We rent the building and then we go to zoning later, and sometimes we find out, man, that we wasted money because that place is not zoned for the business we're into. So please make sure you check zoning first before you purchase or rent any buildings, man, for your business. Also, man, I think that when it comes to business, we have to be very, very important of regulating our emotions. A lot of times, it's easy to get mad because, you get some no's, or, you start acting funny because somebody's not supporting you that you think should support you. It's very important to manage your, or regulate your emotions, man, because God is going to, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, God is going to always have the right people there to support you. And so you just can't get mad at the no's and all those other things, man. You really have to regulate your emotions when you're a business owner. But that's pretty much it, man. I love y'all. I learned from you all. Thank y'all so much, man. And I'm honored to be here with you, man.
Love y'all, fellas. Thank y'all, man.
For sure.
Man,
I definitely want to get with y'all though, like for sure.
Oh yeah. We about to lock in, bro.
Yeah,
we about to lock in.
Stay in the backstage.
Right.
My family's still in the borough. My mom owns a daycare off Holden, man. So I'm
okay.
The next time I'm there, we linking for sure.
I'm in each other. We in like the Cannabis Concord area.
Okay.
Got you. So yeah, man, we gonna meet up in Charlotte or something, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we here.
Yeah.
Hey, stay in the backstage. I'm gonna do my clothes. Stay in the backstage. We're gonna talk.
All right. Say no more.
Well, there you have it, man. Hey, I want to take this time out to appreciate Brandon Ford, appreciate Gene Blackmon, and also appreciate Christopher CEEJ Jefferson, man, for joining me today on this episode. It was a lot of information we gave to y'all, man. A lot of insightful things that each gentleman presented, and man, it's jewels, like they said. It was a lot of jewels that they was presenting, man. So again, I appreciate y'all, man. The one thing that I want to leave y'all with, man, is I got a lot of notes here from a lot of people who wanted this episode, and the one word that I see on here that a lot of people had pertaining to starting their own business was fear, or scared. I'm scared, or I don't know how this will go, or I'm scared to start my own business. As everybody knows, fear, man, that's a word, and that is an action, and that is an emotion that even myself, that prevented me from proceeding forward with my endeavors. So I will say, man, you got to get over that fear, man, of what could happen, or what can't happen, or what might happen, or what might not happen when it starts your business. And if you continue to operate in that emotion, I promise you, you will not start your own business. You will not start your endeavor, whatever that is. It will always prevent you and hold you back from moving into what you're supposed to move into, moving into your season. Again, I'm guilty of that myself. Please do not fall into that. The longer you take to start your business or your endeavor, the worse it's going to be. You know what I mean? Again, if y'all want to reach out to any of these gentlemen, these are friends of mine that I've been friends for 10 plus years, before 10 plus years. Chris and Gene been knowing me my whole life. I've been knowing Chris. So I know if you reach out to any of these guys on those on their website or their social media platforms that they said in throughout the episode, I'm sure they would have no problem with helping any of y'all, man. So from me to you, I appreciate everything. I appreciate y'all for joining us, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, I'm gonna holler at you. Peace.
This is the golden rule.
Trust me.